There is. Not to sour the mood too much, obviously, but we can't not touch on it. Was it yesterday?
Yeah.
Was the anniversary, so 4 years on from Grenfell?
Yeah, so the 14th of June is the official
A date we'll never forget.
the date that we won't
Now
forget, yeah.
the official numbers, which is obviously crap and lies, we don't run it by, but that's what they run with in the press. Is what 72 people died in that atrocity, and RIP to all the life lost. Even though we all know his numbers way higher than that. It's been 4 years. Am I like, even coming here today? Like, I know we didn't necessarily prep conversation wise, but we can have a chat as best as we can. I kind of want to just see everyone's mood and feeling, like, if anything, what's changed since then from what you're aware of in regards to, like,
Not much. Not
someone
much.
that's around this side of town.
Not much.
I know HN.
I think the community still maintain the fight for justice.
Yeah.
Because, after 4 years, there's still been no arrests made. No one's been held accountable. The community are still feeling a lot of pain from it because, number one, the tower is still there for people to see in it.
As a constant reminder.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, even, like, I pass it every other day.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't even like to look at it anymore. Because it is a harsh reminder. Like, and just having people that actually live right there.
Yeah.
All the people that lost their homes, having to be rehoused and having to kind of like, yes, we're saying that we must never forget Grenfell.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, you can still have that sense of feeling that people don't want to be reminded of what's happened because nothing has then taken place thereafter.
So is it like a double whammy where it's like, if we do then start having those conversations, it hurts more because you realise no justice, people still having, if I'm right, there's still issues with people housing and like not being fully settled since then. And just the fact that we have this stupid 72 number, and that's just what we're running with, even though we all know it's more than that.
Even since then, there are quite a few stories that have come out where other buildings, they still have dangerous cladding on them.
There's a fire recently in the east somewhere. The building was on fire somewhere in the east. Yeah, I saw, and then cladding on the building as well.
There's a story I read about a lady who is petitioning because the council or the local council, they're trying to charge the tenants to remove the cladding. But it's like, you've done this. This is your mistake. Why do we have to pay to not have our lives in danger?
Yeah.
Just at a base level, it is just a complete disrespect for human life.
Yeah,
and
it's sheer neglect as well. Like,
they don't care. They absolutely do not care. And you just think the fact that there have been fires in other buildings after that, why hasn't anything been done? And you can take I understand that there has to be inquiries and whatnot, but at the same time, it is just, again, a complete disrespect to how people feel, because you know that people that still live in the area, every single day, they're going to have to be reminded by that.
Yeah.
And it just serves, in my opinion, it serves as this weird, twisted, sick memorial that, this is what's happened and we'll get to it. It just shows again that
hoping that
it's not a priority. Yeah.
And a lot of the stuff that has been created after that is all done by the community. Like, literally, they all band together to make sure that, there is some form of like togetherness still after such a tragedy. Like, a way to uplift and try to fight for justice. Grenfell United is a platform that I follow, and they do stuff constantly. Like, the community go on a silent walk of the 14th of every month. Just it's like a silent, peaceful protest,
just to show that we've not forgotten.
We've not forgotten. They're walking up and down Labrador Grove, Latimer. Anyone that ever played in Westway pitches and stuff, like, you could just tell that around this time, when this time comes around, it's full of sorrow, man. There's no happiness there, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there is a platform called Golden Ashes Project.
Okay, what do they do?
So it's like a photo series on the stories of the Grenfell community. So if you go on www.goldenashes.com, you can purchase a book and it goes to a charity.
Okay.
So yeah, man, it's really powerful. You know, just looking at the account on Instagram as well, Golden and Ashes Project. So yeah, I'm gonna purchase a book.
Okay.
You know,
and the only like bittersweet but like beautiful thing at the time was like you saying how the community rallied. I remember just like people coming down with water, clothes, supplies. The amount of people that like set up GoFundMe's and you know just everyone kind of just.
I remember that day vividly, bro.
Like, did
and
their
like
bit. People that even have issues with this side of town coming around and be like, yo, listen, I'm just doing my bit, and everyone respecting it. Like, yo, we might not even rock with my man, but I respect that,
bro, because we ain't seen anything like it.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah.
You know, and even going to the site the next day, it was still in flames.
That's crazy.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like they couldn't get to a certain point because of how tall the building is.
Yeah, I remember, I don't know if it's Channel 4 News. A Carla standing with a local resident and they're talking about it, and the guy was just so sorrowful because he was like, he wishes he'd even wake up some of his neighbours because they would have just slept through it. Because obviously he got himself out, got his neighbour as fast as he could, and then like people are throwing stuff from their windows. Some people throwing at their kids, some people trying to jump. Like, yeah.
Even from where I live, the smell the next day was like it's such an acrid smell. You can't even describe it. When I woke up in the morning, woke up, opened the windows, and I just remember thinking,
what's that?
Like, it's just a weird smell. I thought maybe you kind of just don't think anything of it. Getting ready to go to work, and on top of my car, there was ash on top of my car. And so when you just don't really think, like you can't really, in your brain, you cannot comprehend that something of that magnitude would have happened. You just think maybe something was going past. So I get to work. I think I went to bed early that night. So when I get to work, that's when I see all the news stories and stuff, and then it starts to make sense. And then I'm like, some of my friends that live in the local area, they're saying as well that they had ash on their car, and the smell was around for a couple of days, and it was just like you can't imagine. Horrible.
How it
mixed with that plastic cladding, you're gonna get that, innit?
How it just rose up and devastated. Like it was just devastating to see, and knowing, like, growing up in a tower block, just knowing how like things can easily spread to the next, and like when you're dealing with like children and the elderly, trying to get them out, and at the time of night and when it happened, it was like near impossible to get everyone out on time.
Was that, am I wrong? Was that Ramadan around that time?
It was a Ramadan, yeah.
I remember, so yeah.
And they told everyone to stay in the building as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and the way we live, bro, the official record would be 3 people live here. 3 people don't live here, bro. Maybe 6. You know.
Yeah, and think about like how many families had, you know, people round to break fast and stuff like that. So, yeah, there was just way more, man. But you know, not gonna get into that. But it was just, yeah, that morning, that afternoon, going there after work, and I knew like how it was gonna play out from when I saw the reaction from my colleagues. Like they just acted as if like, you know, something small happened. Like I couldn't focus.
Yeah, you can't, because it's just on a human level, it hurts. But then when it's like in your area, people directly affected, and then you're in a space where people, it's not their main concern, innit? All they're insensitive.
I was working in property at the time, and the other manager, the lettings manager, I remember her saying that day, like, oh, for fuck's sake, it's going to be so busy today, so many landlords calling me. You know, you think people are dying, people have died, and your biggest concern right now, and you're like bold enough to even say it out loud, is that it's an inconvenience to you because landlords are not going to stop calling you.
Yeah.
You know, you think, have some fucking respect.
Rest in peace to all the lives lost.
Absolutely.
My heart goes out to everyone that lost in that that tragedy, man.
Yeah, for all the people that are still fighting a good fight, we just need to, as always, just kind of like amplify those voices, just so that it isn't a thing where we just stop talking about it and then people get off scot-free.
Yeah. We still have to apply the pressure, man.
Yeah.
Because there's no.
It only happened. It only happened because they were poorer, blacker, and browner. It's just purely it. So, but